Listen. Short story long.
Welcome.
It could take your whole life.
Preach.
Develop clarity.
Second, patience.
If it scared you, you should probably do it.
Whatever you think you don't have, you have something else in its place.
Listen. Short story long.
Go, Woody, go.
Preach.
Listen.
Welcome.
Berner, what's up, dude?
Just chilling on this rainy day.
Rainy as hell, man.
Smoke weed weather.
It really is. This is like prime stay in the house.
I've been at the weed store just chilling, sneaking in the back, getting stoned, and just enjoying that water pour.
Yeah, it's good weather for that. It's like real, for all the listeners, it's like real raining, cold for LA, so probably like 55 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Raining like sideways this morning.
It's Forrest Gump, like Fat Ryan, Little Ryan, Sideways Ryan.
Yeah, it is.
Even upside down Ryan.
It's the real deal, man. I'm ready for spring.
Yeah, it's not. And it's like consistent too. Like it's not just like dumping and then stopping. It's just going. So there's hella puddles outside and crazy drivers that aren't used to rain.
Yeah, they don't know how to drive here in the rain. That's for sure.
That was my respectful way. Yeah, definitely. They're definitely fucking up out there for sure.
Fucking up.
Yeah.
And what were you doing earlier? You were just hanging out at the store today?
Yeah, like when I'm in LA between meetings or music, I'm usually here for music. I just like to chill at my store. You know, we just opened up on Melrose, and the demographic is so unique, and just being there to talk to the customers and, you know, see what's coming in, see what they're buying. I'm so into it. Just like to watch.
Yeah, that's so important. I was dumbfounded when I went recently to our friend's store, and I was dumbfounded by the amount of, like, I don't know how to say this without sounding like rude, but like not the typical weed smoker you would think are going into these like dispensaries and stuff.
That's the best. I mean, you get just old, young, all different nationalities, different walks of life, different businesses. You know, they're all coming in and enjoying that herb. Is tight.
Yeah.
You know, it just really proves how weed really brings people together. Yeah. So it's cool to watch.
And where do you live, up in San Francisco?
I'm between the Bay Area and here. So, yeah, San Francisco area.
Got
LA.
it. Yeah. And is that where you're from? Did you grow up in the Bay Area?
Yeah, born and raised in San Francisco. I went out to Arizona a little bit, too, during middle school and high school.
Yep.
So I was kind of back and forth. Whenever I'd get in trouble, I'd switch.
Yeah, that's good.
Arizona's a trippy place to grow up in, for sure.
Why? What was the point of going back and forth?
Well, my dad owned Mexican restaurants growing up.
Got it.
And he wanted to expand to Arizona because it was like cheap property out there.
Yep.
And we had kind of moved over there, bought a house over there, and Pops got caught cheating like right around the time we were supposed to move.
Got it.
So kind of me and Mom's and my little brother went out to Arizona. He stayed back. And it was like it's a big culture shock going from San Francisco, California, you know, to Arizona. So I would get in trouble in Arizona and then come back to the Bay and get in trouble in the Bay and go back to, you know. So.
Yeah. That's good. At least you could do that.
Yeah, it
At
was
least
cool.
you could sort of like switch it up.
You could enjoy both parents, and, you know, I learned a lot of things going back and forth.
Yeah, I bet. Was your dad always entrepreneurial?
Yeah, I mean, he owned his own restaurant. My mom worked for herself too. She had her own business, a consulting business, Headhunters.
Got it.
A headhunting company. And so, you know, the one thing they taught me is you want to work for yourself when you're older. You don't want to work for somebody else.
Yeah, that's interesting. So they started actually telling you that young.
Hell yeah.
That's good.
You want to be your own boss.
Yeah, I think that's so key, man. I think like a lot of entrepreneurs, not everyone by any means, but somebody usually like at a young age exposed them to what was possible, you know? Because I think so much of this stuff is like even understanding that it's possible. And it's like if your family and everyone that you ever knew when you were young both just kind of had 9-to-5s and like did their thing, you just kind of fall into that, as opposed to like someone letting you know that this is a route. I think that's why people are loving like all these podcasts and stuff so much, because they're seeing like, that route.
And, you know, for me, like my parents weren't successful entrepreneurs in the sense that like my dad's Mexican restaurant, it would do cool. You know, he got raided by the feds when I was younger. I never really touched on this before in any interviews I did, but one of his boys was a real mafia, you know, Italian mafia dude. My dad's Mexican, and they thought he was laundering money out of the restaurant, and they went and looked at Pops, and his restaurant and realized, oh, this guy ain't doing none of that. But
Really?
you know, his restaurant was never hit like crazy. And my mom was doing headhunting. She also like taught like cycling and her own aerobics classes, and she would deliver newspapers in the morning and not even tell us.
Yeah.
So
They're just hustling.
I learned like work ethic from them, but I didn't see them get to where they deserve to be, like financially as an entrepreneur. So that's always been my motivation. Is like, okay, I'm going to be my own boss, but I want to get to it the next level. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Why do you think they never made it to that next level?
I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's not easy to make it.
Yeah.
You know, and so Pop's restaurant super successful. You had Robin Williams, Linda Ronstadt, a lot of famous people come there to eat because it was in the neighborhood. It was good, but you know, could only make so much money off Mexican food. And my mom, I mean, near the end of her life, she was doing good with the consulting business and, you know, working from home. She was doing good. She was able to, but she never was able to purchase a house again in California after the Arizona house. So, you know, I just think that it's not easy to make it. Shit.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah,
No
for
matter
sure.
what business you're in, it's tough. Even probably for us, we might be straight, but it's still tough to keep up.
Yeah. And you think at a young age, like did you put together, like you saw the work ethic, you saw the entrepreneurship, but you also saw like the struggle for money?
Yeah, for sure.
And you think that was like part of your like motivation to really take it to the next level?
Yeah, because like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I kind of watched like the struggles and what they were fighting over, and just, you know, like real life stress for money. And you know, I said it in one of my songs, like I didn't need anything, but I wanted more. Like I had a roof over my head, I had clothes, I had a good life, but I just kind of wanted that. You know what I mean? Like that's why I started grinding, hustling when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know, got left alone a lot when I was in SF. You know, no one was really watching over anything. So
Yeah.
you know,
How did that start? Like, what was your first attempt at like getting out there and making something happen?
it was when I was in Arizona. Like, it's interesting because like, when I moved to Arizona is where I learned about the drug game, really, to be honest with you. Like, it's a lot more advanced over there at
Really?
a younger age. Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
in what way? Can you explain that to me? Like,
I
in what
mean,
way?
like, you know, the Mexicans out there, they got bales of brick weed, and
Yep.
kids are doing coke and crystal and acid in 6th grade. Like,
Yeah.
I moved over there and was woken up like, what the fuck? Like, damn, this shit's crazy. So I started doing drugs young and trying it, and all my friends' older brothers were in the game, and they'd front us stuff and let us do our thing. So I learned about it in Arizona and came back to the Bay when I visit Pops and realized that California weed's a whole lot different than the weed in Arizona.
Yep.
And kind of, you know, bring it back over there and just learned,
Got it.
really learned like the barter system and the difference in like quality of herb and the value of it in a place where it's not available. So if I'm the only one with the bud from Cali and Arizona, how valuable that was.
Yeah.
Not only to make money, but to meet people and to slide into different, like, you know, networks and groups of people. It's a conversation starter. So
Yeah.
just kind of learned the wiggle really young.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know why I would expect it to be more. I'd expect you to learn more in the Bay than Arizona.
I mean, two things is like, one, Arizona, it's a suburb, so there's a lot more demand for drugs. Kids had more money out there. There's more access to things. But I also think, too, when I was living in the Bay, I was like, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade.
Yeah.
That's still young.
Yeah.
When I moved to Arizona at 6th grade, that's at that point in life, that's where I was. So maybe I would have learned it in the Bay, but when I would come back and visit and tell my friends in the Bay, I did acid or I tried coke, they'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're fucking lost. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, Arizona's wild. You
Yeah.
know? So I think the suburbs was a little more advanced on like the drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how that works, man. It's funny how much of an impact like where you happen to grow up has on you.
For sure.
You know? Like the way two different areas can be totally different. And what like did that sort of start to give you your sense of like almost identity or like your reason to be in the room, or like did it really fuel you, or you don't look at it that way?
Nah, I mean, I was in a cool group of people in Arizona, and at the school in Arizona it was weird. Like it was different. Like coming from the Bay, especially San Francisco, everyone's like, "Oh, you're gay? You're from San Francisco? It's gay?" It's like, hold up. Like San Francisco is probably one. You know, it's got a lot of projects, got a lot of shit going on. It's not like a square city at all.
Yeah.
And so I was constantly just letting people know about the Bay Area, and that was kind of my hype. It's like, yo, you wouldn't ride this bus. You've never heard these albums. A lot of music was coming out from the Bay.
Yeah.
From E40 to Mac Mall to Mac Dre to the Jacka to JT the Bigger Figure, San Quinn. So I was in Arizona spreading game. Like, yo, you think it's one thing,
Yeah.
but that's why when I got that weed, I was just boom. Oh yeah, oh y'all talking all that shit now.
Yeah.
But this shit right here is, you know, 30. I was selling for $30 a gram,
Yeah.
just to smoke for free. So, you know, it kind of gave me. I was out there kind of boasting a lot about the Cali lifestyle and what we had back home, and it's kind of unique to be able to share like the things that I found back in the Bay as an older cat that, you know,
Yeah.
was gamed up.
And did they think you were like super cool because of all that
I
shit?
just got into. I started a lot of good conversations with a lot of good people, and hell yeah, you're cool. If you got the good weed, you're the man.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, so it's
And you
like,
just know all that culture, man. I just feel like
yeah, you know, the Bay Area has a lot of culture. Like
Yeah.
it's a lot different. You know, you grow up around all different type of ethnicities, and you know, just Arizona's changed a lot now, but before it was really, really, really just like white, Mexican, and black. It
yeah,
wasn't a lot of like culture out of there.
100%.
Yeah.
Did you ever get in any trouble in that time frame?
Yeah, I've never been to jail though.
Really?
Yeah,
Never.
nah.
That's great. Good for you.
Yeah. Police don't like to hear that when they pull me over.
You tell them?
Well, they ask you, have you ever been to jail?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no.
No,
They're
I
like,
got
what do you
shit.
mean no? It's like, no. Like, no means no. Like when someone's trying to rape somebody, no.
Yeah.
Like, no, I've
Yeah.
never been to jail. They don't like that. They're real tripped out by it.
No, they don't. How did you avoid that?
I'm paranoid as hell.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You just didn't take those like stupid risks.
No, we just always took the next level. Like we were talking about today, like statute of limitations is coming up. I'm gonna start giving a lot of game. Like
Yeah.
if I be traveling with something, I do as much as to like wrap it in a gift. Like you throw 3 pounds in a box, like wrapped as a present with a real gift card on top of it with a bow.
Yeah.
When you're traveling with it, or I'd hop in a taxi cab with it instead of driving, or you know, you pour some shady scallop juice on the floor in the car. It smells like rotten puss in the car.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
you get pulled over, it's just a crazy funk, and it just who's gonna want to talk to you if you know. So
Yeah.
just doing little random things just to stay out of trouble. But taxi cabs, dude, back in the
That's the
days,
key.
it's the key.
Man, that's good for you. When did music come into play? Or was it always in play?
Nah, so it came into play. I was going to like a continuation school called Compadre. I've always been a fan of music, like especially like I said, being from the Bay Area, it's a home of independent game when it comes
Yeah.
to music, in my opinion.
Yep.
But I was at a continuation school, and the reason why I got into music was kind of actually trippy. Like I kind of got ripped off by some kid. He came up to me, was like, "Yo, you rap?" I'm like, "No," and he was like, "You look like you should rap." I'm like, "Really? Okay." And he was like, "Spit a freestyle." And I remember I just spit something, and he was like, "Man, that's so dope, man. You're dope. Oh, I fuck with you, man. Look, I'm gonna get you set up. I got this little machine. You can record yourself on tape. And you'll play beats, whatever's like a karaoke type, little whatever."
Yeah.
And I remember I asked my mom to borrow some money, and she's like, "Yeah, you're crazy, whatever." All right, she gave it to me, and I bought it. And I remember hearing that this kid took that money and went and bought a real 8-track, like back in the day. So I'm like, damn, I got burned.
Yeah.
But I remember going into my garage in Arizona, and it was like 120 degrees in the garage, and freestyling over beats. I wish I had them tapes. And I just learned how to rap like that. And all my friends would be fired up like, "Ooh, that was tight. That one line was tight." I'm like, okay. So you're smoking weed, doing acid, fucking around, making music. And it just started from there, really. And then
crazy.
that was my whole hype to move back to Cali. Is I told my mom, like, look, if I'm ever going to make anything in music, where I'm from, where we are from, is the mecca of music in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like Bay Area, San Francisco, man, some real sound came out of there. So.
For sure. And when was it much later that you actually put out your first thing? You put out a lot of music, right?
Yeah. My first album was in 2007.
Got it.
I think I started recording in 2006 or something like that.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then what were your feelings on college?
I dropped out of high school.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What grade?
A senior.
Really?
Yeah.
How long through the year?
Fuck, I don't remember. I mean, I went through so many different high schools. I think it was like the last part of senior year I was supposed to finish up. I was at a continuation school and I started bartending.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, fuck this shit.
Was that like did you use a fake ID? How'd you even?
Nah, my dad was in a restaurant industry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and shit.
You can make it happen.
I was bar backing and bud tending, so I was running a cannabis club, and I was bar backing. But one of the bartenders faked out one day, and they're like, "Yo, you move mean, like you're about to bartend today." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit!" And so just turned up
Yeah.
and just got it cracking.
And what was your mentality at that time? Like, was it like, I'm gonna go this other route and do shit my own way. I don't need this. I don't need school. Or like, how were you thinking about it?
I was like, I'm 18 years old. On Friday night is hip hop. Saturday night is techno. Sunday is salsa. I want to fuck some bitches. I was on powder. I was smoking weed, drinking. Wasn't even tripping off school. And my mom was hella upset. She's like, I don't know why you're doing what you're doing, but I know that you're gonna make it work for yourself.
Really?
So she was supportive, and I was fucking around with music the whole time throughout like this whole process.
Yeah.
But you know, it was cool. Like you make a bunch of money bartending. I was selling weed out of the bar.
Yeah.
I was, running a cannabis club during the day. So Monday through Friday, I would work at the cannabis club. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, I would work at the bar. It's a pretty cool life at 18.
That's great.
Hell yeah.
Dream come true. And what exactly what's a cannabis club?
Like a dispensary, somewhere you can go buy weed at. At
So-
the time, it was medical.
Got it. In Arizona?
Now this is all in the Bay.
Got it.
I moved back to the Bay when I was in like around 16, 17. I think it was like right around 17 for good.
Got it. When did they become medically legal here?
In Cali, 96.
Oh shit. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it's been that long. Damn. Okay, so you were working there completely legally and bartending, making music. Were you still dealing drugs or no?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. And what, I guess, like, just trying to wrap my head around the way this then started progressing. Like, did you start going harder on the music? Did you start, like, how did it kind of grow out of just like every 18-year-old's dream life to
Shit.
then like really starting to go towards where you are now?
It's all really a roller coaster. To get to where I'm at now is crazy. I'd take about 4 hours, but
Yeah. Give me the clips. Give me
the gist of it is like, ended up stopped bartending. I stayed with the cannabis club, and then when the music started getting big, so big enough to where people thought I owned the cannabis club.
Yeah.
Like there's no way this guy's just working here because he loves the weed so much.
Yeah.
That's how popping the music was to me at the time. I was getting show money, verse money. My career had taken off.
Yeah.
Because rapping was a passion. It was just, I wanted to do it. I wasn't really like, I was looking for a career.
Yeah.
When the career came, I had to kind of like, all right, I don't think I should be working behind the counter anymore.
Yeah.
Stepped away. Then the opportunity when I stepped away was like, yo, we should do a store. We should do this. So that's when it kind of all transitioned.
Got it. And so that was all kind of fueled by the celebrity that you had built up from rapping.
Yeah, when the internet came, I was like one of the first dudes to be showing off a cannabis club online, like on World Star back when it was popping.
Really?
I was one of the first cats that showed off bomb-ass herb and had celebrities coming to see what a dispensary looked like.
Yeah.
I was kind of like the liaison to all that.
That's crazy. And so were you doing shows just in the Bay Area, or were you traveling around and stuff too?
Alaska, Kansas City, Indiana, fucking wherever.
Yeah, that's nuts. And then, so what was the next move in the weed space? What did you started your own dispensary, or?
Next move was people were paying me to brand their dispensaries, and then a licensing deal for Cookie's dispensary.
Got it.
And then I actually started building the Cookie brand, with the clothing and with all the new genetics, the new menu with my partner Jai. We started really building a brand from the ground up. Cookies popped.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the biggest brands globally.
Yeah.
Recognized globally. And a lot of work was put into it beyond me just working at the club. A lot of moving, a lot of shaking, a lot of networking, but shit just started blowing up, so we had to build a brand around it.
Yeah. And like, what would you say that like learning all the stuff that you had to actually learn about the weed business and all the different stuff, that just was fueled by your like genuine enjoyment of it, and or did you have to really buckle down at some point?
I love weed. I've been selling weed since I was like 14.
Yeah.
And by working at the dispensary when I was 18, I learned about everything about, look, none of these brands have identities.
Yeah.
I think we're one of the first brands with a logo in the weed space, like a real logo.
Yeah.
And at least in California, none of these brands have identity. They're not marketing a colorway. They're not. I really just got to open my eyes and see the way the business ran. I learned how to deal with vendors, meaning like growers and people that distribute to the store. I learned so much hands-on. I think that's the best way to learn anything. Like when I was working at the bar, they wouldn't hire nobody that went to bartending school.
Yeah.
Fucking lames.
Yeah.
They want a guy that worked at a restaurant or coffee shop that knows how to move. So I learned everything hands-on, which is so much more valuable, I think.
Yeah. Would you say that's like a huge piece of advice, is like learning that those intangible skills?
I mean, Cookies is a $500 million company right now, and I learned everything hands on.
Yeah.
And I started from the bottom, and I think that's the best advice I can give. Like with the music, with the brand, with the clothing, anything I'm doing that's making real money, generational wealth,
Yeah.
I'm hands on with.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of artists out there, they let their assistants or their managers or people run like the looks, and nah, you gotta do this shit yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a lot. I mean, what do you think of all these new businesses popping up that feel very like someone is just kind of like following a book of what a brand is supposed to
I
be?
mean, that's what a lot of it is, but it makes me feel good because I'm like, they all got it fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, they got it wrong, and people will appreciate a real brand, a real company, and that's what we are. So, you know, look, salute to them, and there's going to be plenty of businesses out there, but, you know, the people that are really from the culture, from the business, they know what's up.
Yeah. And what do you think, like, why do you think Cookies took off so massively? Like, was it?
It's
'Cause
a
of the-
real lifestyle brand. So, like, people talk about lifestyle.
Mhm.
Like, what is lifestyle? It's music, it's culture, it's like, it's roots. It's, I mean, thousands of people have this shit tattooed on them, but from seed to sale, we cover it. We breed our own genetics, we grow our own weed, we make our own hash, and I documented it all. So, you know, and I'm an artist, I'm a musician, so people fuck with the music and they watch the story and they can relate. Like, I'm not some like buff dude that like is not accessible. You can actually touch me, pause, no, you know,
Yeah.
but you can get near me and talk to me. I'm real. I'm a real dude. So a lot of people could relate to it. And I'm Latin, so it's like it's a whole nother
Yeah.
advantage that, you know, there's just a lot of aspects I think that came in. I think that taking advantage of social media when it first came out, having access to, you know, to the flowers and the weed business at an early stage, and being authentic in the streets with making music and working hard at all, it's like a gumbo, really.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't know.
And how did you use social media in those early days? Like, were you just, was it mainly Instagram, or like what was your?
It was MySpace, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I used it all.
And you were just posting like, we're doing like, did you show kind of the process of starting it all off? And
I showed everything. It's
Yeah.
all on YouTube too.
really?
Yeah, everything's on there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, key example, when Facebook Live first came out and artists were allowed to go live before anyone else,
Yeah.
I'd be in a meeting in Dallas with the head of 7-Eleven with my beverage and be like, "Look, you know, there's a reason why you should buy this." And they'd be like, "Why?" I'm like, "Okay, check your Instagram right now, 7-Eleven." They're like, "What? We have an Instagram?" I'm like, "Yeah, check your Instagram."
Yeah.
Okay, there's 22 comments right there, right? You see that, right? I'm going to go live real quick. I go live on Facebook. What up? I'm with the heads of 7-Eleven right now in Dallas. Show them all off. If you want Hemp 2.0 in your store, in your city at a 7-Eleven, hashtag your city and put Hemp 2.0 afterwards. And I ended it.
Yeah.
They didn't even really get what I was doing. And then I went to go check their Instagram 4 minutes later, and I was blocked. And I'm like, your boys blocked me. I went to my other account, and I looked. I'm like, yo, you remember how many comments were there before? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, look at it now. 17,000 comments.
Jeez.
They've never seen nothing like that. Hemp 2.0 Dallas, Hemp 2.0 Chicago, Hemp 2.0 Michigan, Hemp 2.0 California. It just was all hella comments. So I utilize that shit for some dudes that don't know shit about technology.
Yeah.
They thought I was the biggest genius in the world. Like, he just drove 17,000 people to our page. So
Why'd they block you?
whoever's running their social media is like, fuck this guy. Our shit's getting
Yeah.
slammed. There was like a promotion for some other brand that was in their store, and it was all Hemp 2.0 on the shit. So
Got it.
they unblocked me afterwards, but they told me never to do that again.
That's funny. Are you in 7-Eleven with that?
Yeah, Hemp 2.0 is everywhere. It's in Walgreens, 7-Eleven, Safeway, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's.
Amazing.
It's everywhere. Smoke shops,
Um,
clubs.
And then also, like, did you do a lot of like seeding with other artists and other, like, was there any of that helped? Like, because a lot of people that listen to this are starting brands in any space, and I think obviously one of the big buzzwords now is like how people use influencers. What is that something that you used a lot and still use, or how do you
I
look
mean,
at that space?
Like, it takes me 2 hours to get ready to leave the house, not by getting dressed, or it's by making sure I got my vibes papers with me,
Yeah.
making sure if I have like 20, 30 bags of all the new strains, packaged, labeled, everything I'm working and I'm pushing in a backpack, if not multiple backpacks. So I move around and run to people, you're just constantly boom, 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 blessing.
Yep.
And me being in the music space, that's how Cookies started popping through all the music. People would hear it, You know, they'd rap, they'd hear their favorite artists rapping about it.
Yeah.
But it worked because it wasn't paid. I wasn't like, yo, Migos, here's $2 million, go rap about Cookie. Nah, they got it and loved it and shouted it out.
Yeah.
Because they knew what they had was the shit when they went somewhere. So definitely, if you're building a brand, like you want to just try to do as much moving and shaking as possible.
Yeah. But it's not any one thing that really, it's the combination of all of it that.
And I'm from the Bay, so I got a certain wiggle and finesse to me. So it's like, you know, when you get around me, it's different. You know, you can't be shy. You got to be aggressive with your shit, and you got to, like, your product got to speak for itself too.
Yeah. And then, so here's the other thing. Like, I don't, like, in that time frame between, let's just say now and or between then and now, like, I saw that you've also done like a million things, meaning like starting a label and putting out. The one thing I looked at said you put out 16 projects.
No, it's inaccurate. It's like 33.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So can you just give me a quick rundown of, like, through that whole process, some of the things that you've put out, accomplished, built? So, I mean, I know that it's way more than I'm going to be able to even, like, sift through and ask you.
Yeah, I mean, I never stopped working, man. I started working when I was 13 years old. I lied about my age, and I was a busboy at some restaurant called Oscars in Arizona, and got employee of the month. I was super fired up about it. Then they found out my age and fired me.
Oh, man.
And then I lied and went to Wendy's and worked, and then they found out my age. And look, I never stopped working since I was 13. I set a goal when I was younger. I want $200 million. I want 200 M's liquid, which means I got to make about 500 million.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
After doing so, man, look, I just been working. I've been making music. I haven't stopped. I looked at it like, since I'm an underground artist, I got to work twice as hard as the mainstream with no radio, no TV. So I got 33 albums out, a lot of group albums. I got partners in Weed Maps, $1.4 billion company.
Yep.
Partners in Santa Cruz Shredder, partner in G-Pen. You know, I got Cookies Clothing. I got Battle App, which is like an app where you could rap battle people. I got a picture sharing app coming out on the 10th called Social Club, which is for weed brands and people that want to post weed without being deleted. Yeah. I mean, all these stores are getting deleted. All these weed accounts are getting deleted. Anytime I put a picture of weed up, I'm getting reported and deleted because, you know, people are scared of how we mean.
Still?
How mean we move. So
That's still happening?
Oh, I put a picture up the other day of some brand new weed. We just, you know, and boom. So I got that. Restash Jar. I mean, fuck, I got like 13 businesses.
Yeah. How do you decide? Like, because I'm guessing a lot of this comes from your relationships and from people reaching out to you because they know your power in this space. How do you decide what's worth your time and what isn't?
Well, I mean, I looked at it like this. Like, if I'm going to be in the weed industry, I want to spread my wings. I don't want to just have Cookies. I mean, Cookies is, like I said, a $500 million company. Like, legitimately, that's the valuation. And, you know, Grinder, well, I want to work on a grinder. I just kind of put my head out there. I want to touch everything besides the plant. So I want to have my companies that touch the plant and companies that don't. Yeah. And I just really had an opportunity to, like, meet really cool people and just get it cracking.
Yeah. Did you ever feel like you were lacking or missing anything because of a lack of college or any of that stuff when it comes to building a business?
Hell yeah. If I had an education, I'd probably be, you know, $20 billion guy.
That's how you feel?
I don't know.
Because at the same time, you wouldn't have all the lifestyle that you have.
I mean, sometimes the guys I work with that, like, on the business development and whatnot, they're like, damn, bro. Like, they be impressed with the way I work. But I don't know. I mean, I think the work ethic is what got me where I'm at.
Yeah. Is there anything different you would do with the education?
I don't know. Probably wouldn't pay people to tell me what they thought about things.
You know? Yeah.
But I do.
As opposed to, like, you mean like trust your own instincts, or?
Yeah, but I trust my own instincts. Like, I just know business. I mean, I think if you look at some of the most successful people in the world, it's people that came from nothing, really. Yeah. You know, like when I was growing up with my dad on top of his restaurant in a studio apartment, it was me, my little brother, my dad, and my dad's friend in the studio. So, I mean, no bigger than this area we're sitting in now. So my dad would sleep like this. I'd sleep like this. My brother would be right there. And the only other space is a hallway to the bathroom, and his boy would be sleeping in the hallway. Yeah. And I'd just be like, fuck, I got to get it. Yeah. I got it, you know what I mean?
200 million was always the number.
I just wanted 200 M's. So you could do some cool shit with 200 million.
You could do a lot with 200 million.
You could buy a house, could buy a boat, could, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever, but yeah.
That's good. And then where all are the cookie stores now?
You got Maywood, you got Melrose. We're about to open up 14 stores in Michigan, 7 stores in Canada. We're about to do Miami, New York, New Jersey, Boston, Las Vegas, Arizona, Oakland, San Francisco. I mean, we're going global. We're about to do Spain, Amsterdam. So
Wow.
yeah.
And you have like, how do you figure all that? Do you have partners in that know like retail, or how did you learn all that shit?
You see the bags under the eyes.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the hardest things, right?
I literally don't sleep, bro. Like
Yeah.
it'd be so many conversations. I think yesterday I was on my phone in a corner, literally from like 7 to like 10 p.m., 7 a.m. to like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
It's just nonstop work.
And then did your mom pass away?
Yeah,
What about your dad?
nice. So yeah,
What does he think about this craziness?
these things it's cool. I just bought him his first gold Rolex, nice one, really beautiful presidential. He's fired up. He's living. He doesn't have to work, but he still works.
Yeah.
He's still working. I'm like, what are you doing?
But is he kind of like he knew you had this in you? Like they're not shocked, but they're proud, or like how's he?
I don't know. He just trips off it.
Yeah.
He just, it's probably cool to him. He lives with me. I had him move in with me
That's amazing.
when my mom died. I had him move in with me, and so I got a lot closer with him then.
Yeah. And then what about the clothing side of cookies? Because I know that's also like its own big business.
It's a beast. Yeah, we did around 15 million last year.
And where do you sell it?
It's in all the Zoomies. It's in about 1,000 doors. Besides that, online is great for us. We have 3 flagship stores: one on Melrose, one in SF, one in Seattle.
Yep.
So, yeah, some proprietary things on there too. The smell-proof bags, the jars, the trays,
Yeah.
stuff that we design and own the patents to. So
That's big. I mean, obviously the marijuana space is like so talked about, right? Even in my world, and even in anyone's at this point, any business person I think is talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like, I mean, in my opinion, we're very close to it being federally legal. I mean, how long do you think until that happens?
shit, sooner the better.
Yeah. Like, you think in the next 5 years?
Has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this thing's just gonna explode, right? And I know, I'll just tell you from my perspective, it's one of those things that everyone brings up, like, oh, there's so much opportunity here, and this is the new blah blah blah, and this is like when alcohol became legal. And like, what's your general viewpoint of like what's going to happen when it is federally legal? It already is rapidly thought of differently. Like we talked about, people that walk into dispensaries, there's like old ladies and shit just in there getting their creams and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where do you think it's going?
Well, a lot of the people that originated in the game will be pushed out,
Like who?
like the growers, the people that are selling weed, the people that took the risk. Like the real weed guys are going to be pushed out.
Yeah.
Very few of us will stay around.
Yeah.
My goal is to keep the originators in the game, like people that breed, that grow, that have taken risks, that really know weed. I'm trying to bring as many as I can to my camp. A bunch of public companies will come in with a bunch of bullshit weed and bullshit products and no knowledge, and it's going to be oversaturated with bullshit. That's what's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Cookies is hopefully going to stay around, and quality is our number one concern.
Yeah.
I don't want my kid, if she decides to smoke when she's older, to smoke some bullshit.
Yeah.
Because some real estate mogul or some fucking investment banking guy decided to get in the weed business, or some little spermer rich kid decides to get in there because his dad's like, go do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I
That's
hope
coming.
that there's good cannabis on the shelf when I die.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. And what do you like? Is there people coming to you like offering to buy the whole cookies operation? Like, is there a lot of that going on?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But you're not interested.
Nah. If I sell it now, it won't get done right.
No.
I'll get more money now if I sell it now.
Yeah.
Like right now, there's like people are overexcited and they're paying way more than they're supposed to.
Yeah.
I would make way more money now, but then I worked for nothing pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not worth it to you.
It's not all about the money. I got money, and I always find ways to make money because I'm down to work.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is I want to be able to create something that outlives me.
Yeah.
Like, legends. I want to be a legend. So
Yeah.
that's my whole goal too. Like besides the $200 million, like when I was younger, and this may sound weird, I'm not trying to sound trippy or nothing, but when I first did acid, I hella thought about life, and I was like really tripping. Like you could live forever if you do it right. And that, I don't know why on my first acid trip that's what happened to me, but that's my mission before the money, before anything. I was like, I want to live forever. If I die 20 years from now, I want to be like a John Lennon. I want to be like somebody that's recognized or thought after, you know.
Like Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, you know, Nikola Tesla, people that put like crazy innovation into the world that made their stamp. Like you're here and then you're gone. And a lot of us are just kind of looked at like sheep, like the way that they feed us our food and the way people get looked over. There's a lot of us. So, you know, I want cookies to outlive me for sure. I want people to smoke cookies like, you know, the dude that did that, he was, you know, so that's all I want.
And what do you want it to stand for? Like if you could choose what somebody says about you, oh, you know the dude who did that. What did cookies do?
Quality.
Yeah.
Best weed.
Yeah. And then through all this, with all this shit going on, like what are you doing with the music stuff? Like you still like going to the studio, still working on new projects, still?
Yeah, I just knocked out an album with Mozzie. It's called Slimy Individuals. We got some dope records. I love making music. I think that when I retire from music, I want to be an A&R. I like putting together projects.
Got it. Yeah, that's good. Because do you have people signed to your label and stuff like that, or not really right now?
I don't have the time for it, but I constantly try to put on some of the artists I work with on a regular basis. So, you know, the music for me is a passion. I'll probably do another couple group albums this year, another solo. I like to do it. It's therapy, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And then my other question is this: like, if I'm a young listener right now and I'm really interested in this, like in the marijuana space, authentically, right? I'm not a rich kid. I'm not any of that shit. Where is the opportunity? Is the opportunity in brand? Is the opportunity like, you know, because there's so much noise right now.
I mean, it kind of be like trying to get in the .com business right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's opportunity. Like you could do some. You could try to build a brand. You could acquire a cultivation. You could try to start a dispensary. You could come up with a new product. If you're a rich kid, and shout out to the rich kids because there's nothing wrong with them, just try to grab someone that knows what they're doing and try to put them on. Try to embrace someone that has, you know, a dope-ass menu that they bred, or try to get something that's different that stands out. Don't just go for I want to build a grow. Because you're going to build a grow and you're not going to know what to grow, how to grow it, or how to sell it.
Yeah.
It's going to be an issue.
But what about the not rich kid? What about the kid that's just like, yo, man, I want to be Berner when I grow up?
Man, you just got to work every day until you get dizzy. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, anything is possible. When I started doing music, everyone said, you're going to do music, it's oversaturated, you're never going to be heard. Well, I got proven wrong. When I did hemp 2.0, water industries, the beverage industry is the toughest industry in the world. You're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't happen. That worked. Cookies, I mean, you're not going to be able to use the word. It appeals to this. But man, look, here we are, half a B, straight up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Vibes Papers is my latest venture, paper company. Oh, Raw owns the game. You're not going to be able to beat. I'm not trying to beat anyone. I just want to be on the shelf.
Yeah.
Oh, FDA, look, it's done. Everyone told me it's not going to get done. 3 years of hard work, dedication, R&D. My papers are done. Yeah. And we're about to come sliding up on fools everywhere. So it's like the point of the story is just stay focused and stay dedicated, and you'll get whatever you want to get done. Yeah.
You know what's interesting, too, is that about the way that you are and the way a lot of really successful people are is it sounds like I've met a lot of young people that have this idea or have their little brand or whatever, and they almost like take themselves too seriously and their whole thing too seriously, and they're not willing to be wrong or to step into a new space and learn. And all the really successful people that I meet are willing to do that. Like, is that something that you value a lot? Meaning, like, if you're launching rolling papers and I come up to you and say, yo, no shot, man. Like, it's too packed. You're not going to get in, whatever. Like, do you think about it like I'm gonna learn whatever I got to do and I'm going to do it?
I would look at it like that guy just told me I can't do it. I'm about to prove him the fuck wrong. Yeah. And like, I'm the king of like, I don't want to take no for an answer if there's a way to get it done. Like with the papers, it was a big ass struggle. They're like, okay, FDA is not allowing any new paper companies. You can't get, There's only a few people that manufacture papers correctly.
Got it.
You can go get papers in China right now online or whatever, but to do it properly, to be like the quality of the paper that's the leader in the market,
Yeah.
you got to know 3 people. And it took a while to get to those people, but I'm just not going to hear it. I'm going to figure out a way to get it done. You know, I go to John and Vinny's, and I'm super stoned. I want to eat at John and Vinny's, and they're like, yo, there's no seats. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go back out, put $500 in my hand. Sweetie, I want to sit down right now. I'm starving.
Yeah.
I know there's a bunch of people here. Here's $500 for you.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Do you know what you want? I know exactly how I want it, what I want. Cool. Give me your order. As soon as they get up, you're in there. Everyone's like, how did he get sat down?
Yeah.
I mean, look, you're either going to bribe somebody, you're going to wiggle in, you're going to get a hold of a contact that knows somebody. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
You can't give up. If you get scared when someone tells you it's not possible, then you shouldn't be trying to do something.
Yeah. What's next for you, man? Where do you go from here? Like, what's the rest of the? I know kind of this is what I want to wrap my head around. Is like I know the end goal as far as more kind of like the legacy situation goes, but like you know all this shit. You scrapped it together. You didn't go to some fancy college. You didn't go to any college. Where do you now, knowing everything that you know, take it from here?
Film.
Really?
Yeah.
In what way? Producing? Or?
Short films, documentaries, and like a feature film. Not about me, not like a 8 Mile or Get Rich or Die Trying. I got a movie called PAX I wrote. It's about the rise of designer weed in other markets.
Yeah.
When this weed started hitting Arizona, Philadelphia, Indiana, New York. It's like no one ever tripped off the margin that was on the weed back in the days.
Yeah.
People that were selling weed was getting Coke money style. You know what I'm saying? So no one's ever done a film on like the rise of designer weed and how it impacted markets and how much money was really there.
Yeah.
So I wrote a crazy movie called PAX. It's a trafficking film. It's a real crime story. It's dope. I really, really, really take a lot of pride in it, and I spent a lot of money to have it written the right way.
Yep.
I just want to fund it and direct it myself. So when I get done with cookies, when I get done with music, when I get done with the things I want to do, I personally want to buy a fat ass house in Kauai and just write movies.
Yeah. That's not a bad life.
Nah, that's gonna be because it's what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know.
And what age does that happen at? Like,
Shit,
is that like 60 or you're doing way earlier?
Hell nah. I'm 35 right now. I want to start when I'm 40.
Okay, that's good.
I'm trying to be out of this in 5 years, and I'll still be involved. I'm not gonna just try to. I'm not trying to get rich and get out.
Yeah.
But I've put so much work in. I started working when I was 13. I'm 35. That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
I haven't really chilled. I could have been lazy for a long time, but I want to start doing movies when I'm 40 because it's gonna take a while to figure that out too.
Yeah.
Get that cracking.
That's good. Okay, last but not least, if you could travel back in time on our secret time machine and go back to the young version of yourself that's hopping back and forth between Arizona, the Bay Area, trying to figure it out, right? You're a hustler, but you're trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you tell yourself from now looking back at that moment?
What advice would I give myself?
Yeah. Or even, what I always say to people is because, like, sometimes people don't want to come off too, like, well, I wouldn't give any advice because I learned all this from the journey, right? But also, like literally any input, any, like, a joke, anything. Like, you have this moment to be like, you can do anything. What would you say?
Shit, I would spend more time with my mom.
Yeah.
Like, I spent a lot of time with her as my best friend, but I would just, like, because when she was dying, I was so focused on trying to make money as far as, like, I got to do music. I was trying to get advances to make sure everything was going to be okay. I'd like to have, like, 5 albums in the year she was passing away.
Yeah.
And I was doing it because I couldn't hustle anymore. I had to take care of the family. And so I didn't want to get caught up selling weed while my mom's sick. I have a daughter. So I was doing a bunch of albums to get advances to make sure that the rent would be paid. And I was doing hospice. I was my mom's nurse.
Got it.
So if I could do anything, maybe as a kid I had a few more conversations, asked a few more things. If I could ever travel back in time,
Yeah.
I always tell myself that I would have asked a few more things to Mom Dukes.
Yep.
Maybe, you know what I mean?
And do you find yourself doing that now with your dad, or?
Kinda. My dad and me were never really close until now.
Got it.
So yeah, I'm trying to bond with him a lot more, talk to him, ask him, things that he would want or things that he wants to do that he's never done, or just, what is he? I get as much advice as I can. I spend a lot of time with him too, so
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Nailed it, man. That's we covered it.
Good.
Thank you for making this happen, and
That's all good.
Congrats on the success, and I can't wait to watch I can't wait to not only watch the remainder of the journey and where you take it, but also like hopefully we can hang out in Kauai.
Kauai is a beautiful island. I have a dispensary out there. I'm a partner in. It's low key. It's a medical one
That's
right now, but
great.
it's the same style of club that I started off in. That's what's tight. Like right
Yeah.
now, the shelf, the way it's ran, is the same way I started.
Yeah.
So it's tight, and I can't wait to see this shit unfold too. I'm battling against multi-billion-dollar companies right now
Yeah, that's
with
great.
endless resources and knowledge, and just super crazy marketing and packaging people. All my shit was a vision I executed. So I don't know how smart I am. I don't know if I'll make it or if I won't, but shit, I already made it in my mind. So we'll see what's up.
There it is. Thank you, Berner.
Right on, bro.
I appreciate you.
Guys, if you like that and you want to see more like it, as well as vlogs, other web series, and all the random stuff that I'm doing here on YouTube, don't forget to click that subscribe button. You won't regret it, I promise.